Namaskar and welcome to Awakening with Brahma Kumaris. Welcome, sister.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Sister, in this series of Going Beyond, in the last episode, I read a very interesting thing about we want people to read our minds. Like, for example, I inform my staff that 11 o'clock, because the doctor tells me, and I come very excited from doctor's place, boys, tomorrow morning, 11:30, even if I ask for tea, just give me fruits, okay, this, that. I'm in a great mood. Next day, they cut fruits properly, nicely, come into the bowl and leave it. I said, why? Couldn't you have just asked me before cutting? If I want to eat it half an hour later, I'd rather eat fresh. It spoils. And they will not understand what does this boss of ours want. He told yesterday, even if I ask for tea, don't give me, but give me this. And when they bring it, why did you cut it? Why didn't you ask me? I wish you had asked me. Now I feel like having a cup of tea. Okay, keep this in the fridge. Give me at 12:30. And 12:30, I had already informed them that I need lunch. And then if they bring this, I say, don't you know it's time for lunch? Keep this fruit back in the fridge. So the whole problem is, like that lady, that secretary, she doesn't know whether I should file the papers or not. So simple is there. Before the boss leaves the office, he can write a note, do not file these papers today. Thank you.
But he might write that in the evening, that do not file the papers today. But next morning, he might still feel that his desk is very cluttered and why didn't she file them?
No.
And it's not even between yesterday and today, a 12-hour gap. There can be a gap of 5 minutes and the person can change their mind. There can be a gap of a minute and the person can change their mind. And expect that the other people around should be able to catch that their mind has changed and accordingly change their behavior. So it's really not about a communication problem. We feel, oh, the boss didn't communicate his point clearly to the secretary. It's not a communication problem. It's about the mind moving very fast, not deciding what it wants, and once decided, not sticking to its own instruction. Like you said, I said 11 o'clock, you should give me the fruits. So now if you want the other people to obey you, they will obey you because they are staff. But is your own mind, are your own sense organs obeying you?
No.
And then once they don't obey you, you change. And then you think and expect that the other people should change accordingly. Other people obey us more than we obey ourselves.
All right. Sister, there's something very close to what we were talking. May I share with you?
Of course.
What would life be like if we had no expectations of anything, anyone, anywhere, anytime? It sounds impractical and probably impossible, as every day seems to be punctuated with small and occasionally large expectations. Expectations of others, expectations of the world, expectations of oneself, all seem to be natural and normal. And if we can be free of all expectations, we would be more open to whatever may happen, and then better able to respond proactively to whatever does happen.
How deep? Every line of it is very deep. Let's see the first part which says, today we have expectations of everyone, every time, everywhere. And can we conceptualize a life where there are no expectations?
Anything, anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Anytime. Anyone, anything, anywhere, anytime. This is probably too much to ask for initially. Can we just see even one relationship? Let's take that same boss and the secretary. Or let's take you with your staff who's supposed to cut the fruit at 11 o'clock.
I'm always ready, sister, to be the student.
When we take it to our own life, it just becomes so easier to apply the knowledge. And then, because while if you're talking about that boss and that secretary, we are a detached perspective. And when we are detached, we can see that everything is right. We can understand how the boss is being unreasonable. We can understand why the secretary is confused. But when we see it in our situations, like you said, you giving instruction to the staff, in this case, we are not detached.
No, it is more authentic, sister. It's just that I'm very clear and confident and open about myself. Yes, this happens to me, and I'm not shy about it.
But then that itself makes learning so easy. See, because this is level of awareness. Aware that this is what I'm doing and ready to be open about it. And so when we are ready to be open about it, we are ready to receive. So you're ready to take and then experiment with it and then apply it back into the same situation.
Yeah, but it also needs people say, my ego stops me from telling the truth. Not in public, not in front of the camera. Millions of people will watch it for hundreds of years. Once a thing is recorded, it's forever now.
Yes, but it's an inspiration, a learning first for ourselves and an inspiration to many, many to be aware of what they are doing in their daily life and ready to be experiment and work with it.
So no expectations.
Yes, no
Anytime,
expectations.
anywhere, from anyone.
Absolutely. And then now to think of it, that how can this really work in practical life? Is it possible that we're going to move around working with people, being with children, husband and wife, parent and child, the same boss and the secretary, no expectations? You and your cook, your staff, no
and
expectations.
My fruits and my food.
No expectations. What is it going to mean, no expectations? It doesn't mean you will stop giving instructions. It doesn't mean that you will stop telling them what to do, what not to do. But it just means that whatever is the outcome, the last line says that if you don't have expectations, then you are open to being in the present moment and then respond proactively. Now, I expect you to be here at this time. Expect. Expect means I've already created what I want you to do, and that is the right way. So I expect. Now this will start in small things and, like you said, go on to the bigger things in life. So when I say I expect you to be here on this time, and then the other person may not reach on time due to whatever reason. Reason is not important. We say, oh, but the reason was so small, they should have come. It's not about the reason. Situation is they didn't come. They didn't do their work, whatever. Now if I say I expect, which means it has to be done only that way for me to be stable. And if it's done any other way, because it is not what my programming was fed with, I'm going to react. Even if sometimes the other way is better than the way that I expected. Even if. So if my programming says I expect you, let's say I expect you to wear a white shirt. And which means I will be happy only when you wear a white shirt. Now dare you wear anything else, and I'm not going to like it. Even if it's looking better than white, I'm not going to like it because I expect you to wear a white shirt. And then when you do it little different, do something different, wear something different, I react. And when I react, I say, you are responsible for my reaction. I'm unhappy because you did not meet up to my expectations. And then my third line in big situations can be, you let me down. And then, like you shared with us last time, those two powerful words, always and never, I can say, you always do this. You never listen to what I say. You never want to follow what I tell you. You always want to do it your way. Label, label, label. And when I say you always, I dig out few more incidents from the past when my expectations were not met, and I label, this person is responsible for my hurt. This can become a very vicious cycle. And then the other line which you said, if you have no expectations, which means I can still say, it would be lovely if you wear a white shirt tomorrow at the shoot. It would really look good, and it's good for this program, and actually we really need you to wear a white shirt tomorrow. So it need not be just a request, depending on whom we are working with. It can be a requirement, it can be an instruction.
It can be a uniform.
It can be a uniform.
Your costume.
Yeah, what I mean is with different people, the mode of instruction will be different. You can request people, instruct people, order people, whatever. But once you've done that, the role is over, and which means I've told them what to do and they will do it. Now, when they do it a little different, now what do I have to do? As it says, if you have no expectations, you will respond proactively in that situation. Earlier it would be, if I expect you to do this and you don't, I will react negatively. So there's going to be a big difference. React negatively, respond proactively. If I have expectations, it will be a negative reaction when they are not met. And if it's just an instruction, but not an expectation that the instruction has to be followed the way, at the time, which I think is right, then I'm more open to responding proactively to the situation. Like, while we're shooting here, we do require a monitor here while shooting. So instruction is absolutely right. You're doing it for the good.
So sister, shall we come without cameras and everything?
Not at all.
And we'll just say this is attachment to an idea.
No.
Look, how can you, tomorrow you'll say, okay, come without extra batteries, extra reflectors. Don't come with anything and don't expect anything. I don't think this is practical what you're
Just
talking.
let's pause. Let's look at it again.
With a monitor, you have electricity. Why did we bring all the way from Delhi to Hyderabad? Why did we pay the extra luggage? Why did we request and pack it so nicely, sweetly and bring it just to keep it in the room?
So this is all the logic that we have, and which is right logic. This is right, absolutely right logic. There's no denying a single statement out of all that you have said. So the monitor should have been here.
And it's not there.
There's no denying that. But the attachment is also to that my instruction should be followed. I expected it to be here. Now, due to whatever reason, it hasn't come today. Reason could be carelessness, forgotten, indiscipline, insincerity.
Not interested.
Whatever. Reason is right now not important at the spur of the moment when I have to respond. It's my response right now.
Attachment of the idea is the requirement of the present scenario, requirement of the shoot, so that you can see proper color on the face, you can see proper lighting, proper focus. So we have it. It is necessary.
And then, if we don't have it,
then we still did it.
The monitor is needed. There's no denying it. But if it hasn't come, what is the next responsibility now?
We'll do it next time.
And what are the two choices? What are the two choices that I have? The two things that you have just shared with us. Situation did not live up to my expectations.
Okay.
People did not meet my expectations.
Right.
And when that is the conditioning, I react negatively.
Okay.
And the line that you read is proactively respond to the situation in the present moment, which means the monitor has not come.
In the present moment.
In the present moment. What is going to be my proactive response in this present moment? Monitor is anyways not there.
Okay. You tell me.
Monitor is anyways not there.
It's not
See,
there.
if what happens is, like you shared, this, with looking at everything outside. We are right, you're right in what you're saying. But now the need of the hour is, what is going to be my right response in this situation? Because it's not about one situation, it's about a situation after another and another and another. So present moment, what is my proactive response? First, stable, accepting that what I had instructed has not happened. And then response, that one, get the monitor, I will wait, get it right now, or we will not shoot, whatever. Solution outside is secondary. More important is the way I responded while creating the solution. One response could be, How can the monitor not be there? I'm not working with such indisciplined people. Walk up and go. Other response could be, I don't like these people, it's horrible to work with them, but anyways we have to work. So now sit and do the work without that monitor. Another kind of a reaction, negative reactions. Third, we will wait for the monitor to come because we're not working without it. It doesn't matter if it gets a little late, go get the monitor and we start working. Fourth, it's okay, we'll do this particular program without the monitor. Solutions outside, many. Important is, what are the options inside?
How many options are there?
Lots. At least choose between two, a negative reaction and a proactive response. I just loved that word that you've given us. A negative reaction and a proactive response. And when we say responsibility, then first is going to be proactive response, and then, okay, whatever has to be done outside. Things outside have to happen, like you shared with us with the staff. Instructed them, bring the fruit at 11 o'clock. Next, they cut it and bring it there without asking you. So expectation is that they should ask. Okay, they haven't. Now it's cut and it's come there. What is the proactive response? You still are going to say, keep it away in the fridge. I'll have it later. The style of saying it.
Yeah.
The way
I'll
of feeling.
Say, sorry, I'm sorry, I feel like having a cup of tea. Just keep it in the fridge.
Proactive response. And negative reaction?
Can't you just do this much? Don't you have little brains? I'm sitting in front of you. Just ask me before cutting. Am I cutting or shall I cut it or not? This is the other way.
So you got both of them.
Yeah, we have a choice.
So it's not about the fruit. It's not about the staff. It's not about the monitor. It's not about the secretary. It's not about the file on the desk.
So finally, it's not about the situation.
It's not about the situation.
Any
and
situation, but it's finally how you react, proactive or negative.
React negative, proactive response, and that line which was being in the present moment, which means I may have expected something else, but the present moment has something else to offer. I may have expected that someone should be here at 7 o'clock in the morning, but the present moment says that it's 8 o'clock and the person still hasn't arrived. So this is the present moment. Now I have to choose my response to the present moment. But if I'm going to say, yesterday I told you to come at 7 o'clock, this is how you all are, indisciplined, and like you said, you are always like this.
You never listen to instructions.
Yes. Then I'm no more in the present moment. I have gone to the past. I have gone to my expectations. And in that, the present moment is gone.
But sister, there's always a never if you go on using maybe a husband or a wife or a child or to anybody or staff, anybody to in any relationship. Finally, people get fed up of that line. You always do this. You're always hurting me. You're always telling these kind of things in front of other people. You always insult me in front of my family. You always do this and this. You never listen to me. You'll never grow up. You never eat less. You never clean your hands. Never wash. These things, people get irritated, bored, and finally, if they have to live together, they just get
shut their ears.
They pull a plug. Where's the reaction?
But then when you read that story to us last time, I was just thinking, this is another awareness. Remove the words always and never from the vocabulary because they are not true. They are not true because even if we say something to someone 10 times and 9 times, they don't do it properly. And once they do it properly, there is no one.
Then it is not always.
Not always. Yes. And which means how can we say then that it is always? And the more we say always, always, that's the sanskar we are creating, the energy we are sending. More important, the person who's following the instruction, he's getting a negative statement constantly.
You never think of my feelings. You never think from my point of view. You never want me to go out and be happy.
And like we saw last time, the 17:1 ratio, and I was just thinking, actually it must be that 17 times the person must have done it properly. Once the person must have done it the other way, but we remember that one because it hurt. Let's say the secretary does 17 things properly, and one thing wrong, but that one thing created a reaction. A reaction is remembered because it creates pain. The 17 things didn't create pain, they just passed, the moment just passed beautifully. Even if we now have to sit back and see all the days that we all worked together, there have been wonderful moments. And there have been few moments where there has been turbulence, there has been some difference of opinion. And if we sit back to look, the ones which had conflict will pop up more easily because somewhere they created a hurt, an irritation, pain, and the other ones were beautiful, forgotten, because the wound is remembered, the gifts are not. And then we say, always, you're always like this, and you never do things properly.
I rather say, if I was in that position, I'd rather say, please don't give me your gifts. I'd rather be without the gifts, but I don't want this wound of yours.
Which means I'd rather not be with you. Because in any relationship, but the wound is not of theirs. I don't want the wound of yours.
He's giving a wound and then says 17 gifts.
He's just choosing to do some things using which you are creating wounds and also gifts. Even the gifts are created by you. It's just that when they did the thing in a particular manner and you were happy, you gifted yourself. And when they did it a little differently, you were angry. So you wounded yourself, and then we remember the wound. It's not that we choose to remember the wound, it's just that it pains. And that's why that is remembered. The other things are forgotten. Even physical wounds, we won't forget.
Pain reminds me.
Absolutely.
The pain is responsible.
Yes.
I'm not responsible.
And who creates the pain? And same thing, if we start living our whole day with this beautiful line, no expectations from people. Let's start accepting people as they are. First, let's apply this to these small things in life. Present moment, proactive response, no expectations. Giving instruction, and then after that allowing the person to be and do as they want. When they do what they want, again giving another instruction. And which means keep on giving instructions, they will follow. But when we say, I expect, I'm just telling myself, I will not accept any other way of working. That is, it basically closes my mind. One is, I think you should do this way. Giving my mind the option, they can do it another way also. I expect you to be here at 6 o'clock, which means don't even dare to come at 6:05. And the other is, I hope you're here by 6 o'clock. Let's meet at 6 o'clock. That would be the best time to meet. We'll be able to begin work early. I'm sure you love being on time. I'll be there on time. Conditioning inside, preparing my mind that outcomes could be many. Outcomes will not be what I expect. And if I continue to keep expecting, then I am responsible for all the wounds that I'm creating when people are not going to enact their scene according to the way I think they should do it.
I wish a few teachers who teach music, singing, dancing, or golf, would learn this kind of a way to teach. Because we love the teachers who say, we'll do this way, shall we? They make it we.
Yes.
And I had a teacher who said, I can ride the horse like that. While I was shooting. Why can't you? What is wrong? Can't you jump without the saddle? Can't you this? I said, excuse me, I can read a page of dialogues. Can you?
Really?
And he got so angry with me. Right. I said, I'm not a fight master.
Right.
If you're not an actor. So please, I'm an actor.
It's more about they want you to do it.
See, I love the way you're teaching us, and I hope teachers do that, because even in golf, again you're doing using hands. I told you shoulders. You say, use the right shoulder, shall we? Okay, we'll try this time. Okay, there's so many ways of putting proactive and negative.
I was just thinking, like when you're acting in a film, there's a director.
Yeah.
He gives the complete script, the dialogues, everything to all the actors. But after that, the liberty to enact the scene, the way to say the dialogue, the way to perform. I'm sure you love the director who will give that liberty to the actor, rather than a director who would be very stuck up to the way
take 2
I
steps.
expect should be only like this.
Turn your right hand after 1 step. Turn your face here. Do this. Raise your eyebrows and talk like this.
So what's the difference in a director who will be very controlling and would want things to happen only his way? The director is also going to get irritated because no human being can live under his control.
He will kill my creativity.
Beautiful. He will kill my creativity. He will suffocate the actor. The actor will not have the liberty to perform the scene his way.
And the cook will not have the liberty to try new dishes.
Yes. Now let's look. And most important, in our lives on the stage, we are not even the directors. We are only actors. And each actor today wants the other actor to enact the scene the way this actor feels right. So we are trying to become the very demanding directors of other people's lives. We're killing their creativity, and most important, we're killing our creativity, because this is creativity, how to respond. Creativity, how to respond in every scene, in every situation which comes to me in the present moment. Instead of saying, this had to be like this and so obviously I'll get angry. No. This is a new scene that's come. The monitor has not come, is a new scene. Creativity. How should I enact my scene now?
It did not come yesterday, that was another scene.
That was another scene, every moment. And that's why present moment means a new scene, the other actors performing a different way, and my responsibility is only using my creativity to present my scene in the best way so that everybody else says, once more.
So finally, it's me to be stable, me to be in the present moment, and never say never.
And always.
And always, never say, always you do this.
Yes.
You're always nice to me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.